Geary wastes no time as he snatches the lead away from Heath Walker. And Geary now starting to separate himself. Talking to Seth earlier this afternoon, talked about the big differences of the modified in this car. He said, man, way less horsepower, way heavier. It is a tank. But he's got this thing headed in the right direction right now in turn number 1. Geary leads. Heath Walker rides second. Stoniker's third. Conyers trying to put something together as he's trying to sneak underneath Stoniker over there in turn number 3. Can't do it this time. It's still Geary, Walker, Stoniker, and Conyers. Single file run, nobody using this entire 80-foot banking in turns 1 and 2 as they stay in a single file line for now. Geary still the leader. Pretty much a 3-car scramble for that second spot right now as they make their way out of turn number 4. All being led by Heath Walker back there in second. Mike Stoniker third, Jeff Conyers back in fourth. Nobody in striking distance of Seth Geary as he starts to leg it out now in turn number 4, separated by a solid 10-car length advantage. You see Walker trying to tighten that up a little bit, but it is still single file with Seth Geary. Heath Walker, Mike Stoniker, Jeff Conyers. Menninga back there in 5th. Chris Livernoy in the number 70 rides 6th. 7th is Brandon Elwood, and 8th is the 98 of Steve Hines. Here comes Conyers now, testing the waters to the inside of Stoniker over at turn number 3, down to the white flag. They're going to come. And Conyers might have found something. Final time, ladies and gentlemen. Seth Geary in the all-new Street Stock picks up the heat race win. Second will go to Heath Walker. Mike Stoniker, Jeff Conyers is 4th, 5th. Menninga, then it's Livernoy, Elwood, and 8th, Steve Hines. That's heat race number 1. Folks, you can't imagine what it's taken for this young man to get into this street stock out of the modified. The hard work, the long nights. Father and son team, let him hear you. Folks, Seth Geary. Heat race number 2 forming up on the racetrack also for 8 laps. It'll be the 2P of Josh Peacock, the tall, cool one, the number 77 from right here in Ocala, Florida, Jason Gamble. Arthur Conquest out of Bronson, Florida, in the number 78, Jeff Stoniker Jr., the SRE Electric. Blue Gator, number 9. Grady Christian making the trip. He's moved from Altoona to West Virginia. He's had a wonderful year up there. And he's riding back with us here tonight in the net number 36 affordable well drilling effort. Jason Garver in his number 27 doing double duty tonight, as is Nevin Gainey in the number 17 and Rick Singleton in that yellow number 99. Be on his number 17, Nevin Gainey, the coast-to-coast pole barns effort. Garver in the CarQuest, Henry Hodges construction effort. And here we go, heat race number 2 for the street stocks. That one's not going to fly. Caution is out. Peacock getting the consultation. Starter Starting is on the flagman. So he slows it down and pulls the field with him through turn 3. Josh Peacock, Jason Gamble, 1 and 2. Arthur Conquest, who has revived his racing career here at Ocala over the last season. And Stonecker. Here we go. Oh! Trouble early as the 27 of Jason Garver gets tangled up on the front straightaway with, I believe that was a 78 of Conquest. The West Coast campaigner Josh Peacock showing the way now with Gamble riding second. Check that. Stonecker trying to grab it away from him over in turn number 4. Jeff Stonecker's got this car for sale, and we got trouble on the front straightaway. One car goes around, and it is Garver. Jason Garver with trouble. From the 8th spot, Jason gets tangled up, turned around in turn number 4. Into the infield he goes. Stonecker riding second. That's Jeff Jr. Of course, this car is for sale, folks. It's the best of the best. He's trying to put a new one together. You would be behind the wheel of a winning race car in that number 9, no doubt. So the choose cone is out on the front straightaway. These drivers will determine their choice, high or low on the restart. Then, of course, the Bubba restart zone is in effect. If you look straight on the back straightaway, just out of turn number 2, there's a red pole. So the driver, the leader, in this case, Josh Peacock, has the choice. He can fire at that red pole or anywhere all the way into turn number 4. See what Peacock does. Pulling the field, still nothing, still nothing. Now he fires midway down the back straightaway, and Peacock is underway. And Gamble grabs the lead away from Peacock over on the front straightaway. Now onto the back straightaway, it's going to be Gamble. Second spot's going to be Josh Peacock, your pole sitter. Third's going to be Jeff Stonecker. And battling from the trenches. Look at the 17 of Nevin Gainey now. Gainey's got Grady Christian on the inside. Christian settling for that 5th spot for now. But here comes Stonecker with a challenge for the 2nd spot as he lays off Josh Peacock on the back straightaway. Nevin Gainey's going to slide in. Gainey now in 3rd. Stonecker going to try to race him for that 3rd spot into turn number 2. Stonecker on the high side. Nevin Gainey keeps it pinned down low, but up front it's still Gamble. And now here comes Grady Christian now to challenge for 4th. Nevin Gainey chooses to go to the outside, opens the lane. Here comes Stonecker trying to squeeze in turn number 3. Everybody trailing along behind the 77 of Jason Garver. I'm sorry, Jason Gamble. I beg your pardon, tall, cool one. Jason Gamble still showing the way tonight. Peacock rides second. Stonecker Jr. keeping his head above water in the 3rd spot. Then it's going to be Grady. White flag for Gamble. Tall Cohen is riding high tonight. He'll pick up the street stock heat race win. Jason Gamble, Josh Peacock, Jeff Stonecker Jr., Grady Christian, and Nevin Gainey. Garver salvages a 6th, and it's going to be Conquest and Rick Singleton in the number 99. Folks, he's a local boy. He is a third-generation driver here at Ocala Speedway. When he rolls by, let him hear you. Hard work paying off here tonight. For the number 77, the tall, cool one, Jason Gamble. Modifieds appearing on the racetrack for their first of two heat races tonight, both 8 laps in the distance. Up front tonight from Zephyr Hills, Florida, in the beat built number 07, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Moon. Second spot out of Gibsonton, Florida, it's Big Red in the number 7G, Seth Geary. Wade Olmstead out of De Leon Springs in the number 99. Lane Snook is here tonight from Port Royal, Pennsylvania. He'll be in that black number 5 car. Gator High is in the number 15. Greg Bellier, the Ontario, Canada driver, in the number 25. Devin Dixon, the defending PJ Wiggins champion from 2025. Then it'll be Brian Bernhardt, the B69, and Brad DeYoung, the Wheatfield, Indiana driver, in the number 7. So the field bunched up. Eric Moon, happy to be here, all smiles this afternoon as always. His teammate Buzzy Rudiman will be here tomorrow and Saturday night. Geary challenged the number 07 of Eric Moon for a moment there, thought better of it, leaves it to Eric Moon to lead lap number 1. Geary back in second. Third's going to be Lane Snook. Here comes Snook now to the inside of the number 5 car. Lane Snook to the inside of Big Red. Lane Snook just snatched the baton away from Seth Geary with force. Here comes the demon, Devin Dixon, taking huge bites out of the lead into the 4th spot. Eric Moon, Lane Snook, 1 and 2. Then it's going to be Geary, Dixon, and Brad DeYoung riding 5th. Boy, Brad DeYoung all over the racetrack. He starts to work on Devin Dixon over at turn number 4 up front. Still Moon, Lane Snook, Geary, and Brad DeYoung. White flag for Eric Moon. Snook still back in the 2nd spot in that number 5 car. 3rd's going to be Devin Dixon. 4th, Geary. 5th, Brad DeYoung is how they run right now for the final time out of turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Moon with the heat race win. Puts the Rudiman Racing number 07 In the win column here tonight, Lane Snook, Devin Dixon, Seth Geary, and Brad DeYoung. Your top 5. Great modified heat race number 1. In the Rudiman Racing number 07, ladies and gentlemen, in the big built, it's Eric Moon. Hey fans, Tiffany has those 50-50 tickets. She'll be walking around all weekend long. Grab them while you can here tonight. We'll have one of our winning drivers pull the winning number tonight. Heat race number 2 is going to find Paris, Tennessee's Lucas Lee, the ditch digger rather, in the number 12 car. Then it'll be the discount towing number 72 from Panama City, Florida. A 2-time PJ Wiggins Memorial winner, Mr. Todd Nyheiser. Jason Garver in the number 27. Jared Hughes out of Keystone Heights, Florida. He'll be in the 5H. Mikey Kopke in the wins number 52 out of Astor, Florida. Out of Seymour, Tennessee, it's going to be Pierce McCarter, the McCarter Farms effort. The 69 is the coastal cleanup effort out of Clearwater, Florida, of Brody Bernhardt. And finally, Steve Hayes Jr. out of Inverness, Florida. He'll be in the number 16. Lucas Lee out of Paris, Tennessee is going to lead the field to the green flag tonight with Nyheiser back in second. Oh boy, Todd is fast tonight. Lucas Lee right there with him. Nyheiser been down in Central Florida for the last couple of weeks. Making the trip from Panama City. Good to see him here tonight. He's got his hands full, though, Lucas Lee. Gunning for him as they enter turn number 3. Back in the 3rd spot is going to be Garver, then 4th, Mikey Kopke. See Pierce McCarter trying to hitch his wagon to Kopke over in turn number 3. It has been 10 years since he's been here at Bubba Raceway, Ocala Speedway. And it was 10 years ago he was in a late model. It's only his 2nd ride in a modified here tonight. Pierce McCarter in that number 71. How about a 1:73.10 for Todd Nyheiser? Quick lap here tonight. Lucas Lee right on his heels. Nyheiser starting to separate himself from Lucas Lee just a bit now as we come down to 2 to go. Lucas Lee with a 17.211. Quickest lap of the night so far, but he rides back in 2nd. He's got Garver challenging him. That's Kopke actually back in the 4th spot. As Garver tried to overhaul him up front, though, for the final time from Panama City, Florida, the discount towing number 72. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Nyheiser. Lucas Lee will get 2nd. 3rd's going to be Garver. 4th, Mikey Kopke, Pierce McCarter. 5th, then Jared Hughes, Brody Bernhardt, and Steve Hayes Jr. 8 laps to distance, heat race number 1 for the Legends. Quentin Adams out of Washington Courthouse, Ohio in the 08. Brett Jenkins in his Pro Series number 34 out of Auburndale, Florida. Lincoln, North Dakota brings us the 77. The Pro Car of Preston Martin. Then, of course, Ryan Swisshelm out of Hillsboro, Ohio in the 520 Semi-Pro. The 84 Masters is Corey Pope out of Clever, Missouri. Then, of course, the Semi-Pro 58 of Sarah Bradley out of Wildwood, Florida. Brian Grady out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Mandan, North Dakota brings us the 4E Young Lion of Easton Olson. Then, of course, Spencer Grady, the Raleigh, North Carolina Semi-Pro. And finally, the 18 Master. This is Russellville, Ohio's Christopher Parker. 8 laps. Here is Legends Heat Race number 1. Certainly excited for a future partnership with the Legends during our Winter Nationals. One of the very few, if not the only dirt appearance in Florida, I do believe. Right, Brad? For the Nationals, yeah. Preston Martin, Ryan Swisshelm, and Quentin Adams, the top 3. So these winter games for the Legends are still going. Got one car on the bottom of 4, but these guys have been here for 3 weeks already. They had almost 170 race cars over at Auburndale Speedway there in Winter Haven, or Auburndale in Polk County. So the choose line has been taken. Now to the restart zone they go. Still nothing for Preston Martin. He has passed the restart zone. It's in his hands now. Quentin Adams, Brett Jenkins, Corey Pope, and Brian Grady. Preston Martin goes traditional in turn number 4, and we're back underway. Things getting up tempo quickly now as Preston Martin getting some pressure from Quentin Adams. Adams looked to the inside on the back straightaway. Brett Jenkins back in 3rd. Then they're side by side with Corey Pope and Brian Grady in trouble. One car on the bottom of turn number 1 gets refired and turned back around. Martin once again in control of the field. Can fire right now as he has passed the restart zone. Last time he waited to turn number 4. All right, here we go. Preston Martin in the number 77, the 2025 National Pro Series champion, trying to win heat race number 1 in Florida. Got a nice lead. Check out Ryan Swisshelm and Brett Jenkins. They're going to go at it door to door over in turn number 2. Brett Jenkins lets off, and Swisshelm's going to slide into the second spot. Swisshelm not happy with second as he challenged for the lead. Here comes Jenkins back around to give another shot at Swisshelm over in turn number 1, trying to jump on the comeback trail as they have narrowed the distance now to the leader, Preston Martin. Martin makes it wide at a turn number 4 with 2 to go. Brett Jenkins is not done as he is running with a hatchet to the inside. Here he comes inside Swisshelm in turn 2. Couldn't quite do it that time. Gave him a look. Preston Martin still leading the way. Goes wide again out of turn number 4. Opens the lane for Swisshelm. Swisshelm trying to fill that inside lane, and we got trouble. The caution is out. Bottom of turn number 2. So the drivers negotiate the choose cone. No surprise, Martin chooses that bottom lane once again. Jenkins will be up high. This will be a green and white to settle this one. Preston Martin, the defending 2025 Pro Champ, trying to make it happen on the dirt tonight. Brett Jenkins, who has shown signs of life, trying to grab that lead. He'll start on the outside. Quentin Adams will be 3rd, 4th, Corey Pope, and 5th, Easton Olson. Here we go, green and white together. This one's almost over. Wow, who knew? Look at that. Swisshelm squeezes inside. He'll take the second spot away from Brett Jenkins. Ladies and gentlemen, your defending champ, Preston Martin, gets the dirt win. Second's going to go to Brett Jenkins, then Ryan Swisshelm, Quentin Adams, and Corey Pope. And this one is in the books. Heat race number 1 for the Legends. Oh, Spencer Grady. Yeah, first time in a Legend. What a way to baptize here at Ocala Speedway, the Darlington of dirt, if you will. So Spencer Grady spins before the checkered flag. He'll get it now, and he will wrap it up here tonight in the 50, but live to race in tonight's A-Main. Heat race number 2, we said it all night, Nevin Gainey. He was laying under the street stock working on it. And I said, man, I heard you're in a dwarf car tonight. He said, yeah, man. Stephen Parton will be in the number 21. Daniel Alvarez in the number 33. Ty Olson in the 7. Colby Jackson in the number 73. And the 33 is Keith Moline. David Furtado in the 4F. Then it's going to be Phil Vest out of Old Town, Florida in the number 31. And finally the 11 of Lady Lake, Florida's Hassan Shahuri. is your leader. Nevin Gainey in the 17. Here we go. And if you know Nevin, he's a tall dude. You know it? I guarantee you he ain't laid out in that thing. Stephen Parton's going to be your new leader. Ty Olson comes along with him, takes the escort in the second spot. Gainey pushed back to the third spot. Daniel Alvarez will ride fourth and fifth. Keith Moline. Stephen Parnes, the leader. The caution is out as we look over in turn number 4. One car around. Was that the 31 of Phil Vest? Yes, indeed. Philip Vest in the number 31 goes around. Philip out of Old Town, Florida, one of the few Florida boys. There is a Dirt Legends series here in Florida. They race up the street at the Bull Ring. They go to North Florida. I think Ken Kinney's hosted them down in Hendry County. So Ocala Speedway certainly looking to maybe tack them on to one of these nights in 2026. Lights are down. Stephen Parton will be the leader. Ty Olson, Nevin Gainey, Daniel Alvarez, and Keith Moline, the top 5 on the restart. Still 6 laps remaining in this one. The final Legends Car Heat Race. Bandoleros are next. Yeah, we're going to do a Bandolero feature tonight. 2 features, that's right. Don't look now, but Ty Olson is on a mission as he rides around Nevin Gainey for the second spot in turn number 3. Parton still the leader. Here comes Olson. He's going to kick it up high side over in turns 1 and 2, trying to get around Gainey again. Gainey likes that inside lane, and the caution is out. So the call is debris on the front straightaway. Like a bumper off one of them. Automatic black flag. So it was the 33 of Daniel Alvarez. He's going to be black flag for equipment as the bumper came off the number 33. Three down, 5 to go tonight. Still Stephen Parton, Ty Olson, Nevin Gainey, and Daniel Alvarez. Nevin hanging around that top 3 here so far. Here we go. Martin feeling the pressure again. Ty Olson, he'll try to take the top off it over in turn number 1. Still can't quite do it. And the caution is out yet again. One car in turn number 4. That is the 7 of Ty Olson. No, check that. I beg your pardon. The 31 of Philip Vest. That's 2 for Philip tonight. Alvarez recognizes the consultation, waves, and rolls off the racetrack. Safety issue at this point as the front frame horns are exposed on that race car, losing the push bar bumper. Still Barton showing the way tonight in the number 21, Ty Olson. Nevin Gainey, Daniel Alvarez just got pushed off. Then it's going to be Keith Moline and David Furtado. Here we go. Oh, my. Gainey still holding on to that third spot despite the challenge up front. No, he'll spin in turn number 4. Evan Gainey goes around in turn number 4. Tomorrow night, 3 o'clock, the gates open, 5:15 drivers meeting. We'll start the hot laps at 6 o'clock. Heat races will begin at 7 o'clock. 2 Legends features tomorrow night. The national qualifier for 30 laps. And then their regular feature for 25 laps. We'll do the same thing for them on Saturday night. I do believe a Legends feature for 25 laps. 2 Legends features for 25 laps to wrap up the PJ. Tomorrow, national qualifier feature, though, 30 laps. Guarantees you a spot in the big one. Just 3 to go with Stephen Barton. He's held off all challenges all night so far. Ty Olson, Keith Moline. Nevin Gainey with terminal trouble. .31 to Phil Vest with trouble trying to refire it. Come on, Philip. He's got her going. There, he's going to pull her in the infield as the field flashes by. Stephen Barton, Ty Olson, and Keith Moline. Gainey makes his way back up to 4th after free falling down to the 9th spot. Barton to the white flag. Under attack from Ty Olson. Both Pro Series driver. Checkered flag is out, and Barton is going to hold him off for the win here tonight. The People's Ohio driver in the 21 Pro of Stephen Barton. Ty Olson is second. Third's going to be Nevin Gainey, another Pro race car. Boy, Nevin looked like he had a blast in this tonight. Then Keith Moline, David Furtado, Hassan Chahuri. Then, of course, Philip Vest, Daniel Alvarez, and Colby Jackson. So we got 3 Bandoleros here tonight. And we're going to go right into a feature with them. We're going to do 2 features for them tonight. We're going to wrap up the heat races with the Bandolero feature. Christopher Flynn in the number 54, Michael Berry in the 32, and Jacob Bradley in the 37. These are Bandoleros. Kind of close to what you've seen in Florida as a mini cup car. Here we go. Third time in history the Bandoleros have ever run dirt. That is cool. Look at this. Here's Jacob Bradley now. He's going to squeeze around Christopher Flynn for the lead over in turn number 2. Michael Berry still rides back in third. These guys are telling me are just ecstatic to be here at Ocala Speedway. Yeah, it was a great crossover, and Bradley grabs the lead. Flynn plunged back to the second spot, and Michael Berry still third. They got them twisted up. These Briggs and Stratton little one-lungers are twisted up around Ocala Speedway. Still Jacob Bradley. Listen, 21.373, pretty damn respectable lap. So North Carolina's Jacob Bradley in the 37, all the way from Minnesota comes the 54 of Christopher Flynn, and New York is the 32 of Michael Berry. Here they're going to go at it for the lead once again over in turn number 4. Flynn grabs the lead away. Jacob Bradley second, third still Michael Berry. Flynn, Bradley, and Berry still 1, 2, 3. Flynn and Bradley are having a whale of a time swip-swapping the lead. Berry still very happy to ride back in the third spot. Here we go again, having a good time. Bradley grabbing the lead away from Flynn. Yep, Flynn's going to answer back on the outside over in turn number 3. Oh, mercy. Bradley noses it down real tight in turn number 4. Had to come off the throttle. Gives Bradley a nice advantage now as he enters turn 1. Jacob Bradley explored turn number 4 that time, took it real wide and kind of diamonded the car back down to the middle of the racetrack where Christopher Flynn was waiting. And here comes Flynn now to the inside. These guys are having a blast. Dead heat that time for Flynn and Bradley across the start-finish line. They keep them side by side. Here comes Bradley to the tail tracks. Yeah, it was. Here we go. Here comes Bradley down to the inside over in turn number 3. And once again, they're going to go door to door. Lockstep formation. They come out of turn number 4, the white flag. Jacob Bradley, Christopher Flynn, who's it going to be? Oh my, it's going to be Bradley. Oh my, Christopher Flynn. They have had a whale of a time the entire race, and Flynn, I don't know if they got together or what, but man, he just kind of lost it on his own, they say. What a race. Bradley, Michael Berry, after running third all night, gets second, and it's going to be Christopher Flynn. He's going to wrap up the heat races in our first feature tonight.